Hi, this is Chandler Rose, and today I'm going to teach you how to help someone with headaches get out of pain through this massage. And in my last video, I worked on issues related to neck pain. That might be a good video to also reference or watch in addition to this video. So let's get started. So first, you just want to make sure your person is very comfortable. I have Karina on a yoga mat. If you don't have a yoga mat, you can use a towel or a blanket. And then I have something under her knees to keep her knees elevated and her low back supported while I work on her head and neck. And I'm going to use my organic hemp salve again. And all the oils I use are also really supportive of anyone with headaches. I'm just going to warm my oil first in my hands and place them on her chest and just give her a little tractioning out towards her shoulders. When you first make contact with someone, it's really good to just start slow. Breathing slowly. Sometimes you can even remind your person to breathe slower, to take deeper breaths. Breathing slower, breathing more also really helps with anyone struggling with headaches. Sometimes people dealing with lots of external stressors tend to hold their breath. So even just telling them, take a deep breath or slow your breath, can remind them of how important it is to slow down and just be here in this moment. And the only thing they need to worry about or need to think about while you're working on them is their breathing and slowing their breath, and eventually their breath will slow and it will become more natural. So I'm just starting by addressing some of the neck muscles, the trapezius, giving her neck a little squeeze. Someone dealing with headaches may be sensitive to light or sound. So if you can create a space with less light, or even use something over their eyes, that can sometimes help, especially with migraines. Also, one of the really common triggers for headaches is water intake, which I talk about a lot. But we all need to be reminded to drink more water. We're made of 85 to 95% water, so our bodies need to be hydrated. Another common headache causer can be caffeine, lack of caffeine, too much caffeine. So thinking about that is also really good. Sometimes even drinking coffee can be medicinal for someone dealing with migraines. It can really create more vasodilation, which can help with the channels involved in headaches, head pain. I find people with headaches generally want you to really focus on the scalp and specifically temporalis. Temporalis is this muscle that is in front of the ears in the temple region, just in between this part of where the eyebrows end and then where the ears begin. So you can do deep to medium circles there and temporalis. It's also good to talk about or touch in on the jaw muscles with headaches, because a lot of headache sufferers clench their jaw. So just reminding whoever it is that they can relax their jaw, maybe place their tongue behind their top teeth very gently, and even open their lips a little bit, have a little space there. You want their mouth and jaw to be relaxed. And she is doing a good job at releasing that tension. And I'm just taking my thumbs at that third eye point and pushing down and then away from the nose, pulling away, moving the energy towards me. Headache sufferers can also be really sensitive to sound. So I find that I like to check in with them about maybe their preference, if they want music or no music. Sometimes I'll just play water, rain sounds softly. Something supportive of that space that they're in, which is stress. Headaches is definitely caused by a certain amount of stress in the body. It's a message that there's too much happening in that area, or that something else needs attention. Another really great move for someone suffering from a headache in their forehead or in that region. There are all sorts of headaches, but migraines in the center or in the forehead or behind the eyes can really be lessened by this simple technique, which is pulling away from the midline, taking my thumbs and pulling away from the midline. And you can do that all day long, and the person will probably feel a lot better. You're moving that tension, you're moving that energy down towards the ears. And every place you move in the head, scalp, jaw will move you on to the next place that needs attention. So I'm going to circle back down into temporalis and then into where the jaw and that joint is in the jaw, where there's a lot of tension just in front of the ears. And you can use your fingers in a downward motion. I'm pulling down and going into my palms and all the way out towards the ears. If it's someone that's a clencher, you can even use your fingertips and do circles. Also good to check in with pressure. Some people can take more in this region. Some people are incredibly sensitive here. And after a few moments of that, I just want to touch back in with her neck. Give her a little break. People with headaches are extra sensitive to overstimulation. So any kind of massage technique that's going to be overly stimulating, meaning too much work in the same spot. Unless you're working in the feet, and that's okay because you're drawing all the blood down towards the feet, and that will benefit the head or headaches as well and help to relieve those symptoms. A couple of really common trigger points if you're looking at headaches caused by tension would be these trapezius points. And a good way to address one side than the other is to tilt the head a little bit, support it with your other hand, and then this hand is pinching that point, which is this corner of the muscle that rolls over like a scroll, called the trapezius. Some people will just say their traps are tight. It's kind of a common way to talk about it. And I'm going to go to the other side and pull out towards that corner and pinch. This is called pincer palpation, which basically just means you're pinching the tissue but keeping your thumbs and fingers flat and letting those muscles relax between your fingers and guide you. Headaches can also really be related to neck pain, which is why I mentioned my neck pain video. Working on the neck and the connections of the neck and the neck muscles will also help with headache tension. If the person is feeling pain in the head, the neck muscles involved are most likely coming from the back or near the spine. Our spine is very delicate, so you always want to be careful, but a good way to relieve those occiput muscles, which are at the base of the hairline and into the head, is just to traction out towards you with your fingertips pulling in. Another common trigger for headaches can be hormones. With women, a lot of times it's estrogen. We live in a world with a lot of estrogen in our clothing and what we eat, a lot of plant estrogen. And during our cycle, that estrogen can really throw us in a place of being vulnerable to headaches. Men as well, hormones can be involved. But allowing the muscles to relax can help ease those symptoms caused from any kind of internal imbalance. You can always come back to just holding this point at the base of the head and pulling towards you. And I don't like to do a lot of overstretching in the neck, especially with headaches. But one really gentle, supportive stretch you can offer the person you're assisting that has a headache is make sure their head is heavy in your hands and they're not holding their neck or shoulders at all. And then you want to bring their chin towards their chest. And what this does is it's actually really good for squeezing and compressing the thyroid, which helps with hormonal imbalances. And it allows the back of the neck to have a nice stretch, and the front of the neck gets the opposite and can be a little slack, which is where a lot of stress or nervous tension or worries can accumulate. So after a few moments of just holding her head there, you'll just want to tell her, let your neck come down towards the mat before your head. And that also allows the spine to be longer more space. And then you can gently just let her head rest for a moment. So I also have a couple videos in self-care and self-massage, which I show this muscle called sternocleidomastoid muscle, and it's this muscle that pops out when you move your head to the side. So I'm going to work on that a little bit. One you can work on yourself. And this one is really tight, so I'm not going to go super deep. Very good to check in with your person. If they can give you feedback and they're willing to, definitely listen to what they want, because you're trying to get them out of pain. And if they can tell you how to do something more significant or more relaxing, take that as a compliment that they're comfortable talking to you, communicating is really healthy. With that being said, working on the anterior neck or the front of the neck in a way that makes change is not comfortable. So if you have someone in a place where they're feeling tension or pain, and you're doing these really gentle, safe techniques I'm showing you, communicate back with them that change is sometimes uncomfortable. So if you're working in a safe, effective way and holding space for this person, they might be uncomfortable for a few seconds while you are working on these muscles. So I'm basically just kind of holding this tube-like muscle between my fingers and thumb and just giving it a little pinch. And you can go all the way down towards the base of the clavicle and all the way back up towards the ear. And you're basically just holding this muscle, and some people are not gonna really like how this feels. But if you're dealing with headaches or head pain from stress, it's very important and smart to address the front of the neck. A more gentle way to address these muscles is just simply giving a little attraction down, not giving her much pressure, but enough that she can probably feel a slight stretch there. As tender as the neck is, it's also very strong and tight. So it definitely takes a little effort to loosen up those muscles that are so involved in headaches and stress, tension. And I'm going to touch in on her ears. I'm just going to hold, and you can do this kind of circular work. I think they called it penny rubbing or something like that when I was in massage school. And you're basically just pulling that tissue out with your fingertips. And then you can pull the ears up a little bit, down towards the mat, down towards their feet. And on a very significant but subtle level, you're stretching the muscles around the ears. If you're dealing with someone that has a really intense migraine and can't even handle a lot of work in their head, because some massage, if you do too much in the scalp and head with headaches, you're sending a lot of circulation that way. It can actually intensify that feeling. So a really good trick is to work on a universal trigger point, which I can show you on myself. And it's this point between the thumb and the fingers in the hand. And you basically just want to hold that point, and that will help take the sensation away from all the feeling in the head and neck, and also relieve some tension in the hand. So it's very good with head and neck pain to address other areas of the body, the hands or the feet. It really is much more unifying for the body and for the brain to take in this information in a really relaxing, nurturing way. A few other common triggers for headaches can be acidity or acidic foods or acidic beverages. If someone's getting a lot of headaches, I would definitely try to look at how much sugar they have in their diet, how much caffeine is there, how much dairy. Dairy can be a big migraine trigger, especially certain cheeses. Anything artificial, if they're drinking soda, anything with really artificial ingredients, that can be major triggers for headaches. So it's really good to offer massage, and also very smart to consider diet and water. Again, even just having someone increase their water intake can completely wipe out headaches. The body is sending a message that there's an imbalance. So I'm just going to come back to her hair and give her some scalp massage. I have a lot of clients that either A, don't want me to touch their hair, or B, are the opposite and they just want scalp massage all day long. So if you can get someone to let you massage their hair and their scalp, this is deeply relaxing for the brain, the nervous system, the skull, the muscles around the skull. And there are all these plates that make up our head. And in between these bony plates, there's this superstitial spinal fluid that regulates and helps balance so much of what's happening in the body. And so if you can address the head and skull in a way that you are thinking about these plates and how you can gently move and affect this fluid, this pulse that all of us have, then you can also help with so many causes for headaches. And gently rest their head on that ear and turn from one side and just focus a little time on this part of the hair and the scalp and the muscles underneath the skin. I always say with scalp massage, if you don't know anything about massage, but you can gently massage every part of where their hair would cover, or if they don't have hair, you can just imagine where it would be, and you can touch every part of their head, not leaving the back, not leaving the sides, not leaving the hairline, and you can touch a little bit of their scalp in every portion of their skull. they will probably feel significantly better. You're accessing so much muscle and tissue and nerves. And a good way to close any headache massage is to come back to the third eye. And up through the eyebrows, through the temples, and touching all the little points in the jawline. Make sure the jaw is relaxed again. And touching on the ears. And then just even subtle work all the way through the ends of their hair. If they have hair, it's very relaxing. Thank you so much for joining me in this headache video. I hope it was helpful, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
With hundreds of videos that you can stream on virtually any device to help you reduce stress, lose weight, or just improve your health and well-being overall. At wellnessplus.tv, we are dedicated to helping you on your health and wellness journey. Join wellnessplus.tv to find hundreds of videos to help you improve the health of your body and your mind. wellnessplus.tv. Get well, feel better.